Okay, if you think the Quran is any ordinary book, and of course, if you don't think if it is the word of God, this series is definitely for you. But if you think this is an ordinary book, being a Muslim, and you don't know what's special in it, and you just think it's just a book that tells you what to do, what not to do, and that's it, this series is for you. And especially this example I brought in for you. This is one of those examples. Chapter number 2, verse 153. Look at the words. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ista'inu bis-sabri was-salah. Oh, you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. We have the exact words in chapter number 2, verse 45. If you go way behind, verse 45 has the same words. Wasta'inu bis-sabri was-salah, and seek help through patience and prayer. But look at the ending. Look at the ending. The ending of verse 153 is, indeed Allah is with the patient. Seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed Allah is with the patient. But in verse 45, it doesn't say that. It says, seek help through patience and prayer. Allah, indeed, it is a difficult except for the humbly submissive. Why? Why was it just randomly said? Was it just said to bring in the variety in the text of the Quran? Now let's look at the beautiful eloquence of the Quran. Why was verse 153 saying, indeed Allah is with patient, and here it says, except it is difficult except for the humbly submissive. If you see the context, and if you see the verses that follow this verse 153, the context is that requires patience. If you see the very next verse, do not say about those who are killed in the way of Allah, they are dead, rather they are alive, but they perceive it not. And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and loss of wealth, lives, etc. But give good tidings to the patient, who, when disaster strikes them, indeed they say indeed we belong to Allah. So it's a context of trials and suffering and patience. That's why very accordingly it says, indeed Allah is with the patient. But the same words here, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed it is difficult for the humbly submissive, those who bow down to God, those who consider themselves humble and submissive. Why? Because the context is that of worshipping God, being humble to Him, submissive, fearful to Him. Look at the verses. This is verse 45. If I start from verse number 40, what does it say? O children of Israel, remember my favor which I bestowed upon you, and fulfill my covenant, that I will fulfill your covenant, and be afraid only of me. See the context in which we have to be fearful of Allah, and believe in what was sent down, etc. And do not be the first to disbelieve, and do not exchange my signs, and fear only me, and do not mix the truth with the falsehood, and conceal the truth while you know it, and establish the prayer. See, being submissive to God, and give zakat, and bow with those who bow in worship and obedience. Submission, being humble, right? So, and accordingly the verse ends, it is difficult except for the humbly patient. So you see, it may have looked to the general reader who wouldn't think for a moment, why would God say the same words, seek help through patience and prayer? The same words was ta'inu bis-sabri was-salah, and the very same words in verse 153, and the very same words in verse 45, seek help through patience and prayer was ta'inu bis-sabri was-salah. But why would God just randomly end it? One of them, it is difficult for the humbly submissive. The other one, indeed Allah is with the patient. Why? The context tells us the beauty. This is what I'm trying to show you. The Quran is not any ordinary book that you think, I know, it just tells you how to live your life, being good and staying away from evil. No, it's not. It is a book that's filled with linguistic marvels, miracles. You just have to ponder over it, look at it. And the book itself is the evidence of the truth. The book itself is the truth, and itself is the evidence of the truth. Subhanallah. May God give us complete conviction in the Quran as the word of God. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.